Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this video. In this video, we'll cover creating a new composition. So the current version which is available on App Store, so that don't support creating the compositions or melodies. So this is the most important update where you can create any melodies, nagmas, shabad, partal shabads, poems, etc. Basically the notations. So to begin with, you must have either the essential bundle or you should have a pro bundle purchased. So once you do that, let's come to the main screen. So you can go to the all Raag, just tap this button, so you will land into the 31 Raags screen. You can also create a new Raag by going to user Raags and create a new Raag, which I won't cover because once you learn how to create the composition, it'll be pretty straightforward to create a new Raag. So I won't cover this part, and I'll simply jump to creating a new shabad. So let's pick up the shabad. So I have a shabad open in front of me from the book Gurmat Sangeet Prachin Reet Ratnavali by Pai Avtar Singh Ji. We'll pick up a shabad in Raag Bilawal Mahla Panjwa, Ang 820. प्रभ जी तू मेरे प्राण आधार है, नमस्कार दंडावत बंदना, अनक बार जाऊं बार है रहाओ. So this is in teen tal. Let's try to create. So you will see a plus button here. Let's tap it. Now on the very top you'll see a shabad selection, a book icon. So tap it. Now you will see a title and a search box or a text editor box. So instead of typing title here, let's explore this first. So you will see these three options here. The first option is the search bani. So just like how you use the search option Secure to the Max application, because this application uses the database, the same database which is used by Secure to the Max. So you have similar options, but the most common is using the English English words first letters. So that's one way. But before that, show you the choose bani option. So when you do the choose bani, so there are standard list of banis which are included with this application. So you can, let's say, search for Sukhmani Sahib, Slok Mala Nawa directly, or you can add your own lyrics, come back, so copy and paste, and then use it as a lyrics. Let's try the search option. So when you do the search, you'll have to enter. So in this case, it's Prabh Ji, Tu Mere Pran Aadhar hai. So if I tap, I'll see the 7 lines from the shabad are available to basically select. So before I use this select button, this particular button you see on the right side is for appending more lines. Let's say you want to include in one composition 2 shabads. So I'll just quickly demonstrate you. So let's say Kal Taran Guru Nanak Aya, and instead of so when I tap here, it just overwrites. But now if I again go back and I say Prabh Ji Tu Mere Pran, so instead of tapping here, you tap this button. So you'll see it appends. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say deselect all, and I'm just going to, or I'll just simply press here to overwrite. So 2 ways. So I'll overwrite. This will make it simple. And now you can say yes. You can say tutorial. So I'm just editing the name assigned. Change the type to shabad. Let's add the author. And the source is automatically taken. So in this case, author should be Guru Arjan Dev Ji, and you can just say tutorial. Okay, so now we are ready to add notations. So let's tap plus. Let's change the title to Sthai 1. By default, it's the Tinta selected. So let me change it to Tinta Prakar 2 just to show you how it works. Okay. Um, by default, the melody type is melody, or the type of notation basically. If you uncheck, you'll be able to add shabad also, otherwise it's just the notes with the tal. Okay, so let's start entering the notation. So this notation for sthai starts from beat number 10. So do you just tap all these dots till 9, and then sa sa dha pa. Ma ga ma. Okay, so so far we have entered the musical notes. Now let's try to add the bani. So you'll see if you tap this cell below the note, because it's not a pure melody, you will see the keyboard with the shabad automatically gets highlighted. So what it means is, typically when an instructor is creating a notation for a shabad, he or she is copying the shabad from let's say Secret to the Max web application, and then copying it to the Google Sheets or Docs, whatever application they're using, and or typing manually. So that process is very error prone. You may end up making a lot of mistakes, which we have seen many times. So by using this keyboard, which is based on the shabad you selected initially, you can reduce those errors to very, very minimal. So in this case, let's say now I want to start with Tu Mere Pran. So let's go to the line, which is the first line is in the middle. So Tu, and then so these are all buttons. Each letter is basically a button. And then we use dash to continue the shabad, basically to extend singing of the shabad. And then pran, and then dha. So it's dha dash dash ra, Prabji. Alright, now this is the first line. Let's try and play. So use the play button. Before that, let's change the tempo for this exercise. You can use the tempo, whatever suits your needs, but let's okay, so far good. Now if you see the notation, you will see that the first line and second line is same, which means you may not want to write the line again. So let's try to copy and paste. So you see these buttons, blue buttons. First button lets you copy the first note, and then select the last note, this one, and use the right arrow button. Now you'll see all this in orange. Tick this yellow button. Now you'll see these two buttons are highlighted, which allows you to copy. This one, dark one, allows you to copy the notes and the shabad both, or the bani or the lyrics. This one allows you to only copy the notes. So in this case, let's use this one, paste right. So you'll have now two lines copied, so which saves you typing, a hell lot of typing. Okay, now let's continue. So I won't go with entire notation here. I'll just give you examples how to use features available here. so that you understand how to create your own notations. Okay, now let's just complete these cells with the blank notes, which means you won't listen any sound of the note, but you'll hear the sound of the tal. Let's cover these buttons, what they're doing. So this section um, is choosing the tal which you want to play for this notation. The Raag you want to choose. So currently it's Raag Bilawal. Beats off means you won't hear the tabla. It's mainly for the when you are creating a Raag, then you want to use this option. Melody is, as I explained you earlier. If you switch off melody, you won't see the shabad or the lyrics with the notes, and you have to keep it off for the shabad. These buttons you just saw, left arrow is for copy, start of the copy, right is for the end note for the copy, and then this erase button you can just erase. For example, if I do again and then you tap here, you can just say erase. It will just erase the copied notes. And then if you, let's say, select here and then copy, so we saw this option earlier. Let's say if I want to paste here, but before I can do paste left, so you see the notes start from here, and this is to copy the notes only, but not the lyrics. If I say paste left, so you see this line is blank, so nothing is copied. So it's very useful when you just want to add a instrumental line in the shabad itself. So this is the main button. Let me explain you. So let me undo. So this is undo and redo. Let me just undo what I did. I'm here. Okay. Let's say you want to show the mean symbol between two notes or three notes. So you can use this left arrow button, and then let's do this dha, and then use this arrow, and you can tap this M button. Now you see this blue line which shows that this should be sung using a mean. This application, however, don't play the music using a mean, because mean needs some advanced techniques to render the audio, which this application don't do yet. So this is mean. If you want to cancel the mean, you can just tap on the note, it will cancel. You don't need to select the range and then cancel it. You just keep tapping this button to cancel the mean. This is con note, but before the con note, let me explain you these buttons. If you notice this particular note, this is taking one whole beat, so beat 10th. Now what if I want to combine these two notes in one single beat? So what I can do is I can use this half duration to set on this note. So if I say 1/2, I'm telling that this particular note should take half of the beat. Now this is one beat, but this is going over to the next beat, which is something we don't do. So you can again press half, so you will see now it's taking 2 beats. So let's play. So now you can see multiple. Similarly, if you want to like Dandaut, Bandan, Anakbar, Sarv Class Amrit, so those bandanas, if you want to because you play them in very slow tempo, you may have multiple notes. So in that case, for example, if I change it to, let's say, Chautal, just for the demonstration, and if I say 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and let's change the tempo to 60, and let's play. So you just noticed. So this is how you can you can use these small durations to to set the notes to be sung in single beat. So now let's go back to the kan note. So kan note is nothing but duration 1 by 10. The only difference between if you do this 1 by 10, you see the note kind of disappears because it's very small duration. It doesn't really look good here. So what we can do is we can use the kan note, then it will render the note this way. Alright, so we covered this, and then if you want to cancel the kan note, so you have to go to that note and then say cancel, and it will reset the time or the duration for that note to one single beat, which you can set again if you want. Alright, so the next one we saw. Now this particular 3 lines button is the most important button, I would say. What it does is, so this actually highlights you the lines which you will see when the shabad is being played, and then you are showing the shabad's lyrics, the bani at the same time. Let me actually go back to show you the real example. So I won't save here because the modifications were not good. So let's go here. So if I want to play, so see this synchronization happening here. Now you see when the third line is played, this line is highlighted accordingly. Similarly, when the antara is played, the line is highlighted. So going back, this particular button lets you review if the lines are correct. Because when you are editing, the keyboard automatically assigns the line for you, the shabad keyboard. But sometimes what may happen is, for example, in this shabad, the first line starts with Tu Mere Pran Adhar Hai, and then at the end you will see there's a Prabji. Let me just scroll up. So Tu Mere Pran Adhar Hai, Prabji, Tu Mere Pran Adhar Hai. And then when the second line comes, Namaskar Dandot Bandhan, Anak Bar Jaun Bar Hai, Prabji. So you see, so when this Prabji is entered, the keyboard will try to assign the first line, the Prabji. But you can always come back here. I'll show you. So you can tap, let's say, this note here. This is still selectable, and then you can, let's say, tap this line. I'm just giving an example. So use this button. So this is set the line. Alright, so lines are set. Now there are 3 buttons you will see. This is very common. This button will play the notation from the beginning, from the very first beat. If you want to, let's say, play from this second line till the end of the notation, use this button. Or if you just want to play the single line, just use this button. These are very, very helpful. So during the development of this application, I realized that these 2 buttons are really helpful, in saving you a lot of time. Rather than playing the whole notation from beginning, you just play what you want. For example, you see, you just play the 2 lines, and then just plays a single line. Alright, this will show you the full shabad if you want to review. This is the keyboard. So if you keep tapping it multiple times, you can see you have an option to use the native keyboard also. You have English alphabet also to use. And this is a Raag, the musical notes keyboard. Now you will realize here there's a color convention used. Yellow notes is for the lower octave, the green is for the middle octave, and the red is for the higher octave, or the mandar, mad, and tar saptak. So you can use them using the shift button. The dot is already explained, so it's like a blank note. It doesn't produce any sound. Erase button is helpful when you want to erase. If you use erase here, you are erasing a bani here, the shabad here. If you are here, you are nothing but doing the same thing, just as the blank note. Um, you can use these arrows to go left and right. This is for continuing or extending the note, or the the lyrics. This is again important button. So let's say you want to highlight that this is where you should put more emphasis, on a note. You can highlight this note. If you want to put emphasis on a word, generally, so this keyboard will take care of, you know making the letters bold. So this signifies this is the start of a word in this shabad, mere. So ma should be bold, highlighted better. But if you see there's a mistake, you can always, just press this button and then it will undo. Okay, and this is another important function. So let's say, I added the entire notation, but then I realized that I want to correct this note. So one way is you delete this note and then add here, but then it will also delete the bani or the shabad here. So instead of doing that, you can use this particular mode, which is in place replacement, and then when you type a note, it'll just do the in place replacement of the note. If you use this is a default option, using the right arrow, which is appending at this position. So this position, if you enter a note, so ga is added after ni, but if you use this option, then the next note, which is, let's say if I enter ma is added before ga. So this is the position where you insert the notes, and this is for the deletion, so you can delete the notes. I think that's pretty much. Yeah, one more thing. So this is a tempo. I think you saw earlier. So you can change the tempo. You can tap how fast you tap. It will set the tempo accordingly. I think it's pretty straightforward. All right, that's all. So let me not save this one, and let's go back. Okay, so you have added a sthai. Now if you want to add the antara, you can do the same thing, but if you want to, let's say, clone, you can also clone and then modify this notation. Do whatever you want. You can do a copy and paste also. If I let's say remove this one, let's add antara, and you can change the tal, similarly. But instead of, what I can do is I can copy the notes here. So you can copy here and copy, and then you can come back. You can even do this. So you can use the paste button here. So this will let you, paste the notes from the previous notation you copied from, and then you can continue. You can even copy and paste to a new composition altogether. I think that's pretty much. And by the way, so this notation player supports partal, so you can change the tal. So let's quickly create a new one, just to give you another example. I'll create a simple one. I'll use the lyrics test composition. Now there is no title, so I can use the title composition, and I'll say shabad. Just put something for now. Testing. So I'll use a simple Carva. Then so this is the Carva, and now I'm adding another one, let's say in Dadra, or let's say do Rupak. Okay, so let's go back, and now you have this new test composition, and let's play this. Let's change the tempo also, so you can change the tempo, and this is, let's change this to Carva 4, and beats, let's say 120, and so Rupak I'll use the second version, and 120. Alright. So this is how you can create padtals. Alright, so let's say you want to create a shabad in tal which has half beat. For example, there's a Ramneek tal. Let's try just any test. So you can come here, testing Ramneek tal. So Ramneek is 10.5. Now you will see the last, because this is 10.5, so the last beat is rendered, half, but because 10.5 will take a lot of space, so we just add here 11 as a length beat, but it's actually a half beat, but it's taking half the space. But when you enter a note, just to make it simple, so note takes by default one full beat, but you just change it to half beat. That's all. And then you can do whatever, copy and paste. So copy and then paste. So that's all. I think that's pretty much. So this is how you create composition. Similarly, Alankar is nothing but a composition which is simply a melody. Naam Simran is just like a shabad, just that you don't have much of lyrics. You have Vaheguru Mantra. For example, in this case, you see it's just simply a Vaheguru Mantra. And other melodies, anything you want to classify which is not a shan or a shabad or alankar, naam simran, you just put under other melodies. But creating these compositions is all the same. Just how you learnt creating a shabad here. And creating a Raag is also very similar for the Raag. So you can come here, so you can choose the Thart, the time, if you strictly follow the time theory, the Jati, the Vadi and Samvadi. Same, you can use the music composer, author notes. You can put the title here. One interesting thing is when you tap this this plus button, you can add extra, let's say if I want to create a name, Ranjit Singh, so I'll say plus and I'll say save. Now you see an option here, so tap this button and then you will option to have Ranjit Singh as a composer, so you can create your own name. Similarly for the music composer. That was for the sorry, this is for the author now. Test author plus save, and then now you can choose test author. If you want to update, so you can go here and then tap this one, change test author new, and then say tick save, come back. Now so you saw that it just changes to the new. I think one thing I forgot you to mention is, so when you go to the so you'll notice this particular button here. So this is the notes. Whatever notes you enter, repeat this notation 5 times. So this is how it's going to be rendered. So where will you see it? Let's say if you open this one here, and then you see this particular button, so you will see the notes coming here. So this is useful when you are actually playing it. So you can do whatever you want. I think that's pretty much. Thank you for watching. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ.